Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Eternum Labs podcast, and today I want to share with you a podcast on one of our most popular products that we sell called NMN. So, what is NMN? NMN is the miraculous molecule that boosts NAD. And just by the way, letting you know, if you want to access this information and you want to learn about NMN more, we have a blog post on our website, eternumlabs.com.au. You can go there and read up on it. So what is NAD? So that's why NMN is powerful, because it boosts NAD. And NAD is also termed as nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. That's how we say it. It's hard to say. Which is a coenzyme that plays a role in supporting many biological processes within your body. Known as the fountain of youth, studies have shown an 80% improvement in energy production with aging. Literally converts fats and carbs and proteins into energy and ATP. It maintains cellular energy and youth levels, and NAD is responsible for all muscle contractions, use of all your organs, idea transmissions, literally transmutes your ideas, and the ability for us to hear, listen, and understand. Essentially, NAD is responsible for pretty much anything. We can't do anything without good NAD levels. And as we age, NAD levels decrease. It just happens, and it decreases rapidly. So it's a good thing that we have NMN, because what NMN does is NMN increases NAD. And if you want to have a look at any of the studies, the Harvard studies that David Sinclair and his team have done, please do so. We have linked some of these in the blog post. So, what does NAD also what are the benefits of it? Well, it aids in weight loss, improved energy, better sleep, protection against cancer, improved mood, an increase in physical output, and reduced muscle aging. NAD is converted from NMN, and NMN is a precursor to NAD. NAD is an anti-aging and a high-performance supplement. It reverses, NMN is the high-performance supplement. NAD is the anti-aging high-performance molecule, which reverses signs of aging from inside your body. So essentially, how NAD works is NAD converts to NADH, which sort of creates energy, and then NADH converts back to NAD, which is the other part of the energy creation process. And essentially what happens is NAD picks up a proton or electron, one of those things, and then drops them off somewhere, and then it converts back into NAD+. So if your NAD drops a proton or picks up a proton or electron, drops it off, and then it converts, and when it picks it up, it's then termed as NADH, and then when it drops it off again, it turns back to NAD+. So NAD is basically the attraction mechanism of the cellular energy, and that is literally how energy is converted within our cell. So basically what happens is, where does this happen even in our cells? Well, it happens in our blood vessels and in the very small capillary parts of our blood vessels. And what happens is when we age, our blood vessels start to shrivel up and decrease. Therefore, what happens is that's what makes the NAD function and process decrease as well. So we have another supplement at Eternum Labs called resveratrol. And resveratrol is what gives you endothelial cell health. And endothelial cells are the cells that are very small inside your blood vessels. So we want to get good endothelial cell health, which is basically what is where NAD energy conversions happen. So the energy in our bodies basically comes from eating food. Kind of. Our bodies still have to break down food into molecules and integrate those molecules with our cells. Furthermore, our cells have to be healthy enough to go through energy conversion processes which depend on DNA, cellular health, and plenty of other factors. Why is this important? Well, the energy processes, like our body's ability to digest food and actually absorb food, it's for our cells to do their job, give us energy, extract energy from the digested food, and increase our immune system. NAD is what converts molecules and proteins into energy inside the cells, and which is extremely important. We can't function without NAD. I know I've said that beforehand, but it's so true. So yes, it's extremely lucky that we have NMN and we have access to this molecule that we can just ingest. But the thing is there's different types of quality of NMN that we can use and that we can take. And what we really want is to have the high bioavailable NMN, so our bodies actually absorb it, which is really important to note. You may have the question like, why don't you just take NAD? Why can't we just take NAD? Well, firstly, NAD's the molecule itself is too big for our body to digest it, and because it already comes in our molecule form, it doesn't happen, and it also gets destroyed in our digestive tract, so we can't actually absorb NAD, but we can NMN, and NMN makes NAD. And NMN is basically it's derived from B vitamins, and it's also a precious molecule. So if you do buy NMN and you keep it, it's very important to keep it in the fridge or the freezer, so that it keeps the molecule more stable and enhances the bioavailability of the molecule, which is what we want. So one thing is really important to know, that the first thing you can actually do to increase NAD is to exercise. The importance of NAD and why we want it is it really increases endurance. It makes us, as we age, feel younger and feel better. And how do we know we feel younger or feel better? It's within the things we do. It's the energy that we have. It's the sports that we play. It's the journeys that we go on. It's the performance, and it's the performance that we require to do all the tasks that we need to do in life. And essentially, with the studies improving like 80% of effective lifespan in my studies, it's just insane that we can take this molecule and have the benefits of it, especially because it's increasing that NAD process. Now, basically, the first thing that you can do is to exercise, and exercising is going to increase your SIRT1 pathways. And SIRT1 pathways are sort of like they're a protein pathway that light up, and when they light up, it allows anti-aging to happen. What increases SIRT pathways is endurance training and resistance training. They light up the pathways for anti-aging to happen. However, as we age, the SIRT1 pathways with the NAD start to decrease. And exercise only takes you so far in regards to increasing your anti-aging benefits. That's why it's important to take supplements like NMN and resveratrol helping blood flow and endothelial cell health, and NMN getting into the NAD and helping the conversion cycle of energy to actually happen within our cells, which is extremely important. So I think that explains pretty much everything that I've got here from the studies. There is some results that I would like to share with you before we go. So supplementation with NMN has been shown to have positive effect on insulin levels, most likely through action on pancreatic beta cells. What are pancreatic beta cells? Well, they look after hormones that regulate metabolism, growth, development, tissue function, sexual function, reproduction, sleep, and mood. So they're responsible for a lot of things. They are cells that synthesize, store, and release insulin, a hormone that antagonizes glucagon, growth hormone, adrenaline, and other hormones to maintain circulating glucose concentrations. So it's extremely important. NMN supplementation has also been shown to reduce obesity and vascular damage. It has also been reported to improve central nervous system health and increase brain function simultaneously, protecting it from toxins and impairment. It has also been shown that NMN can protect against cerebral ischemia-induced apoptosis. Simply, this is when blood flow gets blocked to the brain and leads to cell death. So it is really important to know that NMN and NAD conversions happen in your brain. So that's why NMN makes you feel really good, as it helps the energy conversions and the cellular health in your brain. So NMN increases neurogenesis after brain injury. This is the process by which new neurons are formed in the brain through converting stem cells into neurons. NMN upregulates NRF2 pathways, and NRF2 increases the body's anti-inflammatory process by using and increasing inflammatory cells in antioxidants, allowing them to protect the body against oxidative stress in the cells. This is a really good thing. Ice baths and saunas can also trigger this. NMN has helped with improving Alzheimer's disease symptoms, and NMN can reverse some of the negative effects of high-fat diets. So it's extremely important. And you can look, we talk about in the article a little bit more if you'd like to have a look in there. And we actually have like a map of the process of how energy, stress, high-fat diet, aging, and all those things end up, how they affect NAD, and then what happens to the mitochondria in your cell moving forward. But basically, NAD happens within the mitochondria of a cell, and mitochondria is in all of our cells and generates chemical energy needed to power the cell's biochemical reactions. Chemical energy produced by the mitochondria is stored in a small molecule called ATP. It is important to know this as NAD plays a key role in communicating between our cell nucleus and the mitochondria that power all activity in our cells. So the big question for you guys is, what do I need to do with all of this? The first thing is to ensure you get and to ensure you have healthy NAD levels. The first one is to ensure you get regular sleep. Make sure you have make sure that you have amino acid dense foods included into your diet, like tryptophan. Get the 3 forms of vitamin B3, niacin, niacin, etc. Get a diet rich in plants, algae, and grass-fed, organic, pasteurized, homogenized, and like grass-fed meat, and also homogenized milk is handy as well. A healthy gut microbiome is absolutely critical and essential. You can measure this by getting a Viome microbiome test done. You can see a naturopath to figure these things out. Remove external and internal stress from routine and environment, and remove your intake of toxic substances. All of those things are the natural ways to make sure that you are getting the most out of your NAD and you're preventing any stress which affects your NAD. One thing that I didn't touch on beforehand, which is important to notice, is that chronic stress strips out the nutrients required to make NAD. So it strips out those B vitamins, and it strips out the aminos and the other things that break down and convert into the NAD process and the endothelial and the health of the endothelial blood vessels. So that's really important to know. So making sure that stress is out of your system and you're doing everything stress is out of your routine and you're doing everything possible to sort out the stress in your life so that you can have the best NAD conversions possible is really important to do. And the last thing that you can do, which is definitely not the least thing, because as we age, obviously exercise and minimizing stress only takes us so far, is to take NMN and resveratrol. And you can get that on www.eternumlabs.com.au, and you can order yourself a pack and see how you go. If you're listening to this podcast, you can use the code Corey, obviously from me, to give yourself a 10% discount off of all the products. So I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. I hope you learned something, and I hope that you're motivated to live your best life. And also is to make sure that you are looking after your NAD levels and you're making the right decisions for you. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you in the next one.